Alright, welcome back. I'm going to draw the Punisher. So I'm looking on the side over there. I have the other computer on and it just has some images of the Punisher so I can reference them. Excuse me, my throat is still not better. So I'm just going to draw one of them, just something that I think is about right. So I'll just start around. I'm just trying to judge. That's the limit of the camera here, down there, those two. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a really basic image of the Punisher. So I'm going to do, let's do, how do I want to do this? I guess we'll draw it like that. Something that has that shape, and I'm just going to take you through how I kind of decide what I want to do. So I'm going to, that's kind of be the head, I guess, and I don't want him to be too buff because he uses guns, so the whole point is that he's not like a super buff guy. He just has like, you know, good with guns, I guess, is how you would put it. And then let me just do this. And I'm just doing a really rough like body sketch right here, so just to kind of give a sense of how. Not sure how I feel about that leg. This is overall. I'm looking at a reference and it's not a very good reference, so something like that. And then I guess we can do like, here's the arms, and then this is going to come up like that, and then I guess he could be holding like a gun or something like that, right? And then the other arm, this is going to come straight down, something like that. Something like that. So he's holding like a really heavy like gun. And this is extremely rough, and the point of this is not to work out all the details, it's just to kind of gesture in like, you know, the main points. And I'm going to use my new style of face drawing, so you can kind of see those circles there. And here's where his eyes will be, and I want to give him like, I'm noticing on these pictures that I'm looking at, he has totally different hair in every single picture. Some of them he has really short like bald hair, other ones he's completely bald, on other ones he has it combed to the side like Superman style. I guess we could do that, like really clean cut, and like just kind of do that kind of thing, and give him really dark eyes because he's kind of a dark character. And give him like that grimace, something like that. You kind of see the idea there, and you can see a lot of this here but not a lot of this other one. Something like that. And for the gun, I'm not very good at guns, so we're gonna do something like this, and it's gonna be like this really over the top gun. I want it to be something funny, but I mean his comic books aren't very funny, but you know, you always want something cool. And we're just going to do that. And then here's where his fingers would go. And then we need one more finger for the trigger. Okay, so we have this. And then this will come back here. And then we have like a clip, which we're going to put right here. We want to give it a little bit of that. Something like that. So, I've never drawn Punisher before. He just wears a t-shirt. It looks like, again, there's like 10 different outfits for this guy. Some of them are t-shirt and jeans. Other ones are like a skin-tight suit with like these weird like things. He has a random belt. I think I'm going to go for the t-shirt and jeans. Kind of keep some of these wrinkles going. And just kind of do this kind of thing. And just like that. Yeah. And something like that, where it's like kind of a whatever t-shirt. There you go. And again, he has this skull on his shirt, and the size, again, he has like 10 different redesigns. My gosh. And I want to make sure that I'm following, instead of following like the symmetry here, I'm going to follow this symmetry line. The idea is that his body is slanted, so his shirt should be a little bit distorted, and that's okay. And here here's his hand, and here are the fingers, and then they come down here, and then we have like, you know, his arm there. Perfect. And here we're gonna have his arm. This is a little bit small, so I'm gonna redraw this a little bit bigger. Something like that. And then we can actually put like a wristband or something there. Because, you know, 90s, everyone wore wristbands apparently. Never drawn this character before. Not sure how I'm doing with him. I'm sure Punisher fans will hate me. But everyone else is... I don't know a lot of Punisher fans. I know people who have heard of the Punisher and like the idea of the Punisher. But I've never met someone who actually reads the comics, which is hilarious. But that's just me, you know. I mean, everyone's experience is different. I'm not saying that that's bad or good. It's just different. And again, he's got like all these pouches, like Batman style. I'm sure it's just ammunition. And he's going to be wearing jeans, so I kind of want to keep some of these lines, but not all of them. See, something like this would be cool, I guess. And then this. Something like that. You see what I mean? So he's carrying this huge gun. He still looks a little bit janky, like too slanted. But I'm okay with that. And then some smoke for the gun. If you can't see the tip of the gun, there it is. See the line I made? So this is just a sketching phase. Nothing fancy goes into a sketch. It's just the pencils. You know, just the pencils. I'm not even sure if I'm going to finish this drawing. I kind of like it as a sketch. And I don't know. I might do a few more of these and figure out which one I like. I kind of like this one, but I feel like his design is a bit simple. Sometimes he wears a trench coat. Might do a trench coat. That might be cool. I don't know. I've never done the Punisher. This is quite scary, but that's the fun thing about drawing, is that you always learn something new when you draw. I've never drawn the Punisher. I've never drawn what he looks like or what he might act like, and you know, when you draw a new character, you want to get a personality going. And I've never done that, so I've never had his personality. I've never drawn his personality on paper. So it's really fun to experiment, really fun to try new things. I'm going to be using this pen so you guys can see it. It's a Sigma Micron here, a Pigma Micron, and this is a 0.1, so you can see that there. So we're going to be using this pen. I think this is the newer one because the other one's kind of dying out on me. I use my pens until they die, essentially. And again, I apologize if I take up a bit too much of the camera with my hand as I do this part, but I'm going to go ahead and try. And I'm going to try not to cover the camera too much, so let's see how this works. So I'm just going to really quickly, and I'm going to keep this drawing super dark, so I don't mind if like the details don't come out as much as I would want them to, because I'm going to keep the drawing super dark. So I want to keep this idea that this guy is like really angry all the time. He looks like he's really upset at people. People have done bad things. I think his story is that his family is killed by like some like mob or something, and you know, the usual, he's going on a killing spree rampage thing, and then somehow he becomes a hero at the end. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about the Punisher, so please don't judge me. If I get it wrong, I apologize. I'm only human, as Beyonce says. Not that I listen to her, but my wife does, and it's always on. So we're gonna draw some hair just hanging out here, and then again, I'm just trying to draw like a really simple, and I'm gonna keep it super dark. I'm gonna keep this drawing super dark. Basically, I'm not gonna color it in. It's just gonna be a black and white drawing of this character, and the way I'm gonna do it is basically to use the pen as though it were shadows, and shadow and light. So wherever I want dark shadows, I'm just going to go over it with more pen lines and give it like that look. You see what I mean? It smooths out, it looks kind of nice. I'm not the best at this. There's people online who are super good at this. Again, there's always people who are better than you at things. So the important thing isn't to let that bog you down, but to use that as kind of like, you know, to learn from it, and to become better at what you do, whatever that may be. Okay, so here's this. I'm going to give him an Adam's apple, so I'm just going to give him a little V there or something. Again, super loose drawing, as you can see. But that's okay, that's kind of what I'm going for. And I'm going to turn this V-neck into just a crop top. And I'm going to give him a little bit of the muscles. Again, I drew him kind of muscular, but I'm not going to actually color in or shade in a lot of the muscles because the t-shirt is going to cover most of them. So I'm just going to use the layout of the t-shirt to kind of emphasize the fact that he has muscles. So when someone has muscles and has a tight t-shirt on, it stretches and it wrinkles in the areas where you would expect there to be muscle. So for us, the good thing is that, and let me draw in some pouches here. There you go. Sorry if I went quiet there for a second. For us, the good thing is that this means that we can show some definition of our muscles without actually showing anything. And we're going to draw one more pouch somewhere in the back there, and we're going to color it in really dark. So you can kind of see my idea or my approach is to just go really ham with the with the lines here. Just kind of use that to my advantage. And again, I'm just kind of coloring all this in really quickly. Just kind of outlining some of the basics here of his shirt, and again he's got this pouch here, so we want to kind of draw that in. And I'm really being extremely loose with this stuff. I'm not even like really caring about consistency because most of it is going to be shadowed in or just covered up. You know, this whole section of the shirt doesn't look too clean, but that's okay. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece every time. It can be something different every single time, and that's okay. So this is where his hands are. And again, I'm just going to draw in the knuckles basically. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the fourth finger. Kind of see how I did that? I just kind of went in and did the outlines for the knuckles and then just kind of figured out where the fingers would go. And I'm going to open up his thumb here. And I think I butchered it, but that's okay. And there we go. So it looks like he has an actual hand and not just like a stump of a hand. So, and we're going to do this one, where we do this. All the way up to the gun. We have that and that. There we go. And then this one is covered by the gun itself. And we're going to give him like these little bandages as well. And there we are. So we have the outline for the basics of his arm. We have most of this done already, and it's been barely 13 minutes since I just started this. So that's wonderful. We're going to take a short break, and then I'm going to zoom ahead a little bit, and then we'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So at this point, all I've done, it looks like I've done a lot, but all I did was erase the pencil marks, so it was just the pen. And then I used one of these brush pens. These are the Japanese ones. I forgot what they're called, but it's a really thick brush pen. You can kind of see that here. Well, probably not. There you go. And just kind of inked all over with black and kind of outlined this figure like this. And from here, what I'll probably do is, I don't have any more gray Copic, or else I would have done all grayscale, but I think I'm just going to do it with pen. So I went back, I outlined some of these darker edges, and then we got lighter edges. I just did that with the same pen that I drew it with. And the idea is to make certain lines pop out over others, so you can kind of see like this belt line here and this leg pop out more than the back leg and stuff like that. It's just really simple stuff. And again, just keep it really simple. I kind of like this drawing the way it is. I don't want to do markers because I don't have gray right now, so I can't really do any of this shenanigans unless I just do pens. But then I feel like it'll look way too sloppy. As it is, it looks okay. So I kind of like it this way. I'll probably just leave it like this. I'm kind of really happy with it. Overall, I think the pose is he's a little bit too slanted. I feel like if I were to do this again, I would probably take this part of him and then decrease the slant just a little bit, like this maybe. It's just a very minute amount, so that he would line up better and have better balance. Like this, one key rule that you got to remember is, and I'll just show you this for example, the shoulder, if you want the person to be balanced, the shoulder should not be anywhere past the leg. So if the foot is down here somewhere, then the shoulder needs to come up here. So I should have moved this up here a little bit. I moved this one over a little bit so it would have been a little bit straighter, maybe still a little bit tilted in. But that's just kind of some balancing stuff. I mean, people don't really stand like this unless they're falling or limping. So maybe he is limping, but overall, I think it came out okay. I could definitely clean it up and spend tons of time coloring it with markers and all that. Probably won't do that. I'll probably just leave it as is. I might do watercolor and just grayscale watercolor everything later. But I think this is pretty much it for now. I really like it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. If you want, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram or check out my Etsy store to see if there's any art you'd like to purchase. You can also check out last week's video by simply clicking on the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Take care.